Yeah, I mean, it was an almost replica game, you know. I would think the shots are probably exactly what they were the last time, 23-9, right? It's probably pretty close. I don't want the exact stats, but yeah, it's just frustrating. And, you know, we worked on set pieces. We talked about their free kicks. We talked about them, you know, starting in offside position, coming back and running, and we just don't follow, we don't track. And something we got to work on, you know, because you pay the price. I mean, that was, you know, we had great momentum at that point, 1-1. I thought we'd just go on and, you know, create more chances and hopefully win the game, and then you give that away, just took the stuffing out of us. So it's disappointing.
What do you think? You've talked a lot about working on finishing, but it still hasn't seemed to come through. There's these close-range shots that are still going over the net, still going wide.
Then you got to make the goal bigger, I think, or something for us. I think the goals are smaller at home. They've got to be smaller at home. No, I mean, work on finishing every day. Finishing in front of 15,000 is different from finishing in, I don't know what the crowd was, but it's different from finishing in practice, I think. And, you know, we lack a little composure, I think, in the penalty box. We had 4 or 5 clear-cut chances the last 10 minutes, really, to get back in the game, and just didn't get it done, you know. Hitting balls too hard, swinging at them, like we're trying to knock them out the stadium instead of just placing them. But just got to get back to the training field and work on more finishing, and until they're fed up with finishing, you know. And give the goalie credit. In all fairness, to give their goalie some credit too. She made 6 or 7 very good saves, and you know, obviously with one of her game coming in, it seems to be the thing. Somebody comes here. Jill Lloyden was the goalie last time. They switched goalkeepers, and they both had their best games of the season here, you know. So, I mean, she did well. Her handling was perfect in these kind of conditions, which was not easy. I thought her handling was very good, so.
As you're watching the World Cup, I'm wondering if, you know, there's certain things that coaches do besides throwing tantrums that you're learning and incorporating, like tactics. You're from Liverpool, so I won't ask you if you're teaching your players to bite your opponents, unless you're a fan of Everton. But you know, as you're watching, what kind of strategies, what are you learning from the World Cup?
Well, I think that the most,
apply here?
Yeah, I mean, any time in the World Cup when you're watching, I think the difference in you know, the formations and how they play them, and how different teams play them, how they adjust in games, and you know, obviously at the World Cup level, they are playing a lot of different formations. You'll see a lot of different styles and philosophies, from the African countries to the South American countries to the European countries, and you know, the European countries have struggled a little bit. You know, whether it's the weather or whether it's just being, you know, outplayed on, you know, more creative players or whatever it is. But I mean, even watching Argentina, the difference between Argentina and Netherlands is substantial. Netherlands like to counter-attack, Argentina like to play. It's a completely different philosophy. But
you try to apply some? I mean,
there's no question, yeah, but I mean, I don't know about the finishing. I mean, I've seen some pretty rotten finishing in the World Cup too, you know. There's been a lot, I mean, look at the World Cup, there's a lot of goals coming off set pieces, a lot of goals just bouncing around the penalty box and stuff like that. So, you know, you need a big finisher, and, you know, we have a couple of them, but, you know, if we don't connect in the box, you don't win games, and we didn't connect. But in all fairness to the effort, can't argue with the effort. The effort was unbelievable. I thought Nikki Marshall was brilliant tonight in the back. You know, Sinead had a good game in midfield before we took her out, trying to chase the game. Jess McDonald, I thought, made a difference when she came in. But it's hard to fault them, you know. The work rate, Vera was, I thought, tremendous, you know, and she brings that little bit of extra flair. And she must have beaten, you know, Sophie about 5, 6, 7 times, man. Laid nice balls in, and we took advantage of one of them, but probably should have taken advantage of a few more.
Well, can you talk about the sharpness of the team in terms of connecting and passing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I would agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I think one thing is the finishing, but the other side, you know, if I looked at the display from last week, where we just connected everything. I mean, the second half, we just connected everything. We just didn't connect as well as I would have liked, you know. And it's hard to understand why, because it wasn't much difference. Amber was the only real change. We made a change at left back, but in the midfield, the only change was really Amber not there, you know. And all the regular players were there, you know, Ali, Sinead, Vero. You know, we changed formation 10 minutes to go in the first half to go into a diamond, just because we felt we needed to give Vera more space. And I think second half she got a little bit more space and she created stuff, but we couldn't find any space again. We have a tendency, I don't know what it's like in the first half, but we'll all drift to the wall. Everybody wants the ball in the first half. In second half, they seem to get, you know, better positionally, better spaced out, and do a better job getting into areas where they can do some damage. But they didn't do that in the first half. We're all on top of each other and just out of sync. And the first goal was, I mean, it was a cracking goal, let's be fair, but the giveaway in the midfield, I mean, Ali pondering on the ball, it's got to get out of her feet. I mean, you know, and you know, unfortunately, those things happen in the game. It's not. I mean, Ali trains. You know, 100 times she'll do that, and 99 times she'll get a ball, collect it, and play it. And unfortunately, the one time she wouldn't.
Would you like to see them get the ball to Vera a little more often?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought second half we did. You know what I'm saying? When we played in the down, we got Vera the ball a lot more, and she's the one who's doing all the damage at the moment. First off, we just didn't find her. You know, what happens was Ali kept tucking in, taking Vero's space, so Vera would drift out to the left-hand side, and we kept saying, Ali, stay out, and Ali would drift back in again, chasing the ball. And they all want to get the ball, but there's only one ball. I think the biggest thing we're going to do is learn to share the ball, and last weekend we did it, the week game before we did it. It's almost like at home you feel like they all want to take responsibility and try and do the magical thing, but you know, you got a wizard, let the wizard play, and the rest of the Warriors just dig in and get the job done, you know. So you know, but again, I go back to, you know, there wasn't, I don't think there was any bad performances in the group, but it's just, you know, not getting much luck either in the final third. I have to be perfectly honest with you. You need a little bit of luck to win games.
Is that a matter of the players developing more trust in Vero in terms of getting her involved, let her orchestrate, or is it just a matter of getting used to her being on the field with the rest? Yeah,
I think obviously, I mean, I think they love her as a player. I mean, how can you not love her as a player? Love her in the locker room. She's been in the locker room, and when she gets going, man, most of the problem is just running off her. That you don't have to go help Vero. You know, there's one instance in the first half, Vero gets the ball edge of the box, and Alex Morgan goes running over to help Vero out. Well, Vero doesn't need any help. So I said to Alex off time, get yourself in the box where you can do some damage. Vero's going to beat a player 9 times out of 10, maybe 19 out of 20. So just get yourself in the box and leave some space for yourself to run into. But you know, the tendency is still to go help them, to go help Vero. She doesn't need any help. Leave her alone. Get away from her. Let her do a thing, and then see if we can get, you know, into the final area of the field where we can do some damage. And that was a nice goal we scored. I mean, it was a good quick thinking on the throw-in, and Vero laid a lovely ball in. Sink finished a beautiful one, but just got to keep at it, and you know, got to go to Kansas now. We put ourselves in another hole, and you know, short turnaround going into Kansas would be difficult for us.
What do you think it is about the home field? I mean, you talked about this one being and it hasn't been good.
It's just frustrating. I mean, and again, I'll go back. You know, the stats 23 again, and last time it was 22. We lost 5-0. I think it was 21. You know, we're getting enough shots. We're just not taking care of it, and we're giving up soft goals on just things that you just don't give up. I mean, they really didn't create that many chances. We gave them the first goal, and the second goal came off a set piece. And no, it's frustrating. It's really pure frustration. The players are frustrated too. I mean, they work. I mean, there's nobody that works hard. There's no team in the league that works hard on the training field. So you want the just rewards almost for them when they get on the field, and you want it for the fans. I mean, it's so frustrating. We talked about it all week again, you know, that we put on a really good performance in Washington. We come home and, you know, we're on a roll. We feel everyone's scoring goals. Ali's scoring, Sink's scoring, Alex is scoring, Vero's scoring. We feel so confident coming into the game, and then we don't score at home. I feel like there's something around this goal at this end anyway. For some reason, we just cannot get a goal in this end. But just going to keep at it.
Last question. With the frustration you guys are feeling, how do you kind of not let that affect you that much as you have to turn around so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's. I mean, as soon as I walk out of here, I'll be, you know, ready to go next game. We'll break down Kansas City immediately. We'll have a look at our tape immediately tonight. We're on an early flight, 5 o'clock tomorrow, so we don't have time to think about it. They don't have time to dwell on it. We got to move on and get some points. And you know, we made ourselves 7 out of 9 points, and we've got 3, so we got to get 3 more at least to get close to it. Otherwise, Kansas, if we lose to Kansas, we're in big trouble, I think, in terms of getting that into the playoffs or getting into the home spots at least. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think you ask any of the players now, just want to get on the plane, get down there, get ourselves sorted out, get in the hotel and get ready to play and go out. And, you know, the thing is, you keep thinking when you're Kansas, just like we've been thinking too, oh, this team's on short rest, they played on Sunday, they're coming East Coast to West Coast, they're going to be tired, but it just doesn't happen. People come into the environment and everybody's pumped up and ready to play, and we've got to be the same way going into Kansas. You know, get pumped up, we got 48 hours to turn it around, and, you know, we'll freshen some of the lineup in and then go from there, and hopefully, you know, have a performance I did in Washington, which, you know, we did. We got a couple of early goals. The first goal seems to have been the most critical thing for us. The one time we got the first goal, we're 6-0. Every time we don't get the first goal, we struggle to win the game. So I think if we could get the first goal in Kansas and force them to come out a little bit, it would be a big help for us.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, thanks, guys.